He's very dreamy, but he is not the sun. You are.
The shining light, the energy source, that big star of Grey's Anatomy really put us through the ringer in the season 18 finale. As she told Entertainment Tonight before the finale aired, trying to convey what has been 400 episodes for viewers of Meredith Grey's life really took its toll on Ellen Pompeo.
I was exhausted yesterday. I filmed a couple of the final scenes yesterday.
You really just should go. Just go. Just go back to Minnesota. I have a lot of work to do here.
I need to say this point right now because I got a lot more to say later. It's shocking that Ellen only shot those scenes on Sunday. It then aired 4 days later. Like, to give you some perspective, This Is Us shot their finale a month ago, before it aired this past week. What was happening on Grey's that they were still filming 4 days ago? Because it's got to go through a whole process. It's got to then go through post-production. It's got to be edited. It's then going to be sent to all the ABC head honchos to be approved. Then it's got to be sent to the team that actually broadcast the episode out. It's crazy that she was shooting that only 4 days ago. So yeah, very weird circumstances. So anyways, okay, get that point out of the way. So if you're feeling like you needed some liquid therapy after watching the finale, Ellen was right there with you.
Had my wine after work and I was done. I didn't cook dinner, I just...
Done.
Yes, just laid on the couch.
Yeah, I honestly think this is the darkest we've ever seen Meredith since she almost let herself drown. I think what the show is doing is setting up the next and final season to be Meredith finally reaching a place of peace and fulfillment. So they're like, okay, let's start it down here, and then we'll build her back up to there. And I think they're making that clear in the fact that the season didn't end with her, sitting there depressed. She got up and ran after Nick, so she wants to improve herself.
Because the end of an era
Nick!
is easier said than done.
But to the question that Extra asked on Monday that we've been asking for years.
Does it exist without Meredith Grey?
We'll see. We'll see. This show really belongs to the fans.
Well, here's one's fans' perspective that has watched 400 episodes of the show. I will be extremely insulted, and I think it will damage the show's legacy if it continues as Grey's Anatomy without Meredith Grey. Shonda Rhimes has said for years that when Ellen Pompeo wants to stop, then the show will end. But now Ellen, who is always so articulate and direct when answering media questions, really struggled to give an answer when asked about the possibility of the show continuing without her.
Shonda and I think that, we'll see.
Ellen articulated what I've said before, that she feels the weight of her power. When she says she's done, then this show that inspires so many is done.
The show speaks to a lot of people, and the young people love the show. It's inspired so many generations of healthcare workers.
Beyond inspiring the next generation of medical experts, Grey's Anatomy has become this vehicle of diversity and inclusion, not only on screen, but behind the scenes as well.
I think for the young people, it's a really good piece of content.
And that content, I think she believes, stops on her command. And add to the fact that when Ellen says she's done, hundreds of people are out of work. Sure, most of them will easily get other jobs, but yeah, when she says she's tired and wants to stop Grey's Anatomy, then a lot of people lose their steady paychecks. That's a lot to put on someone, and it looks like now they're trying to take that weight off of her shoulders, or that responsibility off of her shoulders.
We're going to try to keep it going for the young people. Not necessarily with me, but, to keep it going beyond me.
And I just said in my segment about Jackson and April returning in this season finale that I think ABC is toying with the idea of having past characters who are still alive, like Jackson and April, and Addison, who we saw twice this past season, pop back up once or twice a season and give us an update on where they're at to keep the Grey's pulse going beyond Ellen Pompeo leaving the show. Now let's remember, and I don't mean this as an insult to Kyler Lee, who played Lexi at all, but it seemed pretty clear that Lexi Gray was introduced because there was a fear that Ellen was going to leave after her initial 7-year contract was up. So they needed the character to justify the name Grey's Anatomy. So Lexi came in. Then once it was clear that Ellen was sticking around, Lexi... Well, now, Lexi can't be the character that justifies Grey's Anatomy if Ellen leaves, so...
Whose anatomy would it be?
Well, we'll find someone.
I've said this for years. Why can't they just end Grey's Anatomy in, let's say, May 2023, and then in fall of 2023, have a new show begin with some of the doctors that we currently know? It wouldn't be all the doctors. Like, I think some characters like Richard and Bailey, the other two originals, their storylines are done. I think Owen is done. I don't think Teddy is done. I think actually Kim Raver could head up the spin-off or continuation of Grey's Anatomy. But since she's tied to Owen, I guess that couldn't happen. But I want to hear from long-term 400 episode watching fans of Grey's Anatomy. I'm okay with them continuing the story of Grey Sloan. I'm not okay with them continuing it under the title of Grey's Anatomy. I have watched 18 seasons of this iconic show. Shonda and Ellen should care more about legacy. To continue Grey's Anatomy without her is an insult to people that have watched this journey for 18 seasons. But tell me, am I putting too much onto a title of a show in terms of its legacy? I want to hear your thoughts.